Students, teachers, and staffers here at Richview Middle School went into panic mode this morning after an administrator came over the intercom and said there was an active shooter. Except the part they failed to mention was that the whole thing was just a drill.
Oh my God, everybody run, there's a school shooter! Please, run for your life, Jesus Christ!
My heart just dropped because I'm right there by the cafeteria.
Brave words coming from 13-year-old student Peyton West recounting this morning's botched announcement.
And this is just one of many reasons why parents are starting to lose faith in the public school system. Now look, not to be that guy, but I have to ask, what was brave about that statement? What was brave about what that kid just said? Literally, where was the bravery? He basically just told you how he crapped himself out there in the cafeteria because they scared him to death because of this false alarm. And somehow you're saying he's showing bravery? Just sounds more traumatic than anything.
They said, lockdown, this is not a drill. There is a school shooter in the building in the cafeteria. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
This poor kid sounds like he's traumatized. He's reliving those moments right now. Looking up there at the big old speaker as it just speaks down to him. Probably sounds like the voice of God telling him that the school shooter is there. And all his worst worst nightmares are all coming true. Since now they had to actually have these school shooter drills, which is just crazy to think. Like the craziest drills that I used to have back in school was the tornado drill, when they used to make you get in that like weird position by the wall. Like you just crouch your head against the brick wall. Sometimes I'm like, if it starts crumbling again, we're gonna die anyway. Like this isn't gonna work. We might as well just sit out here. But these drills, I mean, I get it. They're important. But dang, you can't drop the alarm on this or drop the ball. I mean, yeah, they definitely dropped the alarm.
He's one of 1,100 students at Richview Middle School who thought the announcement was real. Not to mention the faculty and staff who were all kept in the dark too.
There were kids crying down the hallway because they really wanted to get picked up because a lot of kids had anxiety right there.
How does this kid know the word anxiety right now? Like, okay, never mind. I guess he's 13, so maybe he should know the word anxiety by now. But should he? Should he? I don't know. I felt like I was decently educated, but I don't remember like using the words like anxiety around that point in time. Like not even really depression. But I don't know. I guess that speaks to a whole nother issue. But these kids, they're going to definitely need to speak to somebody about this whole incident. Like they're going to have to call in all the guidance counselors from all the nearby schools from just what happened. I mean, that sounds traumatic. Nobody knew what was going on. Even the teachers are shocked. Like, how do you not get the emails out? Obviously, somebody dropped the ball on all the memos. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody was supposed to either drop it off in some type of letter, leave a sticky note somewhere, something. Send out to the mass text. I mean, they didn't. I mean, how? Just how? I mean, this is inexcusable. I mean, how do you reprimand somebody like this? Do you send that person to like the alternative school? Do they have to go get lashings? Do they get paddled? They don't do paddlings anymore. I mean, I got paddled, but they don't do that stuff anymore. That's illegal.
And they just could not move to their next class.
I was scared and just like confused that it all happened.
I mean, apparently so. Everybody was confused, even the teachers. Which is a shame, because like I said, I mean, if the teachers are confused and they don't know what's going on, especially the kids aren't going to have a clue what's going on. But maybe it was necessary that these people had this drill. I mean, look, sometimes they do these annually because maybe they don't think they have enough awareness going on in their school. Maybe they just needed to be, more aware. Maybe they, have heard some things.
That's Peyton's little brother, Bradley, a 6th grader at Richview Middle whose teacher, friends and classmates all panicked after hearing of an active shooter.
Just got silent and everyone just started to scream and stuff, so we just ran.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like they needed this school shooter drill. It sounds like they definitely needed to go through the fundamentals of this situation because he said they ran, which means I can only imagine where they went. They said there was 1,100 kids in that school, which is crazy. That's a pretty large middle school. Like, where is this place? I need to do more research, but damn.
He says his 6th grade class ran from this classroom behind me, across this busy 2-lane road, and into this neighborhood over here, knocking on doors to seek shelter from what they thought was an active shooter.
Oh yeah, they definitely needed to do this drill then. They definitely needed to go ahead and work this into the schedule because the kids apparently had no idea what to do. Apparently they never talked about this in class whatsoever. They got kids running across the street, crossing traffic in the middle of the day, probably get almost damn near getting ran over by semi-trucks and school buses and all sorts of horrible things. Could you think about the catastrophe that almost took place despite the fact that this was already just a false alarm? Imagine if it was an actual school shooter. Not only did they just probably lose some people who got shot in the school, then you got kids getting ran over in the street too because they don't know what to do. I mean, man, you know what they did? They had the right idea in place. This school had the right idea. They're like, hey, we need to talk to the kids because I got a feeling that if something goes down, they're not going to have a clue what to do. And they didn't. They clearly didn't. They panicked, which I get the panic part. You know, like if this was actually to happen, like I really don't know how I'd react either. But dang, I mean, you would like to believe that some of the kids would have stayed in line or did something. Because usually there's always a couple kids, regardless of what's going on, they're going to follow the rules. Absolutely oblivious to all the dangers and all the scary activity that's taking place. People getting killed out in the middle of the hallway. I mean, I'm not trying to throw lack of sensitivity, but just saying, like, that happens. And some kids are probably still just like, we need to be quiet. I mean, that's an amazing trait to have, but I don't know what that means. You know, no clue.
I'm happy that those people were outside walking, the people that let us in their house.
This school now admitting that their own teachers didn't even know this was a drill. Writing, quote, an administrator used the incorrect script to activate the drill.
Oh, this happened right up the road in Clarksville. Oh, I don't know how I let that slip my brain, but I mean, honestly, how do you just use the wrong script? The wrong one? Did you not pre-read it before you decided to announce this? You're like, wait, hold on, is this the right one? Or hey, is anybody sure? Are we sure we're doing this today? Did nobody check? That's all that is. I mean, that's crazy to think that the person who was going to go ahead and read this didn't just double check one last time. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure they had that expectation of their students to make sure you double check your work. Why didn't you double check yours? Why do I feel like now that we need to line you up in the hallway and go ahead and let you get whooped with that paddle that has the holes in it? You know, the one they used to hang up on the wall to intimidate the students. The one they used to hang up there like, yeah, this one really gets that wind resistance, so we're going to build up that speed when we get that red bottom on you. That's right. The intimidation paddle.
Adding that this certainly caused concern for everyone and that they apologize for the mistake. The school system says they'll now retrain their employees on the proper protocol, sending parents this email, writing, quote, we will ensure this never happens again during a drill.
What they did made a lot of kids just scared and stuff.
Traumatized. Him and his friends are now forever traumatized from what took place at his school previously. It's a shame, and it's really sad. And now they're going to send out this memo talking about, oh, we're never going to let this happen again. We're sorry. Yeah, you better be sorry. That's the least of what you can be. I hope you have enough guidance counselors coming in each and every day to talk to these children. They're going to need to at least take another hour out of the day to make sure they check on their mental health. They already had all sorts of other mental health issues. Now they're going to have more. Now you're just adding to the problems. Now you're going to have them on more drugs, all just doped out in the schools. You can't have that. You got to find more counselors, more people to talk to the students because now somebody effed up. Apparently communication is just whack up in this school. Nobody knows how to communicate. Nobody got out the mass text. So how do you think they're going to receive this email? Is everybody actually going to get it? Do you have everybody included in the mass text message? Do you have them all in the same email group? How many people are going to get left out this time? I mean, this is apparently a big deal. Y'all really screwed up here. Really screwed the pooch. Kids almost got flattened out in the street because of this. Nobody almost got hurt in the school because there was no actual school shooter. But the fact is, now people don't know who to trust. Those kids are going to now grow up looking at those administrators and those other teachers in the hallway a little funny. The next time they want to send them out there and do some weird request, they're going to ask a lot more questions to see like, oh yeah, are you sure? Then it's going to rub a teacher the wrong way, and then they're going to want to go out there and get that paddle I was talking about. Can't do that. That's abuse. Even if it did used to get, keep kids in line. And boy, I have some funny stories when it comes to paddling. Not like all towards me, but I've seen some kids like completely crack.
Like, I just want them to know that everybody was scared. Like, even if it's just a little mistake that came out the intercom, you've got to at least like stop it before like it officially ends, and to where people know that it was just a drill.
Basically, the 13-year-old is pointing out the obvious to all the adults. Y'all need to know y'all's effing job. Y'all need to communicate. Y'all need to get on the same page because this is a school full of a whole bunch of non-adults. People who need y'all to guide them. People who they need to protect them. Now, I know the public school system is all jacked up, and I understand they probably doing a whole bunch of stuff against their will. It feels like damn near in that school because those teachers get stretched to the bone. They get paid little, and they're not really incentivized very much. So I understand the pain, and I understand sometimes they drop the ball, but these are important matters, and I would like for them not to drop the ball on stuff like this, especially in my home state. Come on now, let's get it right. You know, we already got apparently, you know, major white supremacists trying to show up here and take over Jackson County, and that's not good. But hey, you know, let's not go in the wrong direction here.
Now, school is out here for the rest of the week for Thanksgiving break at Ridgeview Middle School, so students can spend the next couple of days with their loved ones at home. If you would like to read the school district's full statement, I posted that on our website.
And I really believe they're going to need that time to recoup and recover from what just took place, apparently. Those kids, I saw the look in their eyes. That was a look of trauma. And that was a look of somebody who was lost and dazed and confused. And, you know, only some good times and some good laughs with some family and friends can bring that back. Make sure they get themselves back to this reality. Bring themselves, make them feel whole again. Make them feel safe. You know, if it's cold outside, make sure you get a nice, you know, little fire lit up in the house. Make them feel real warm and cozy. You know, like a 1990s like family picture where everybody was all bundled up by the fire with those nice and itchy sweaters that everybody used to put on. Yeah, make them feel nice and cozy just like that. And that'll bring them back, and that'll make them, you know, basically recoup and, you know, revitalize for a whole nother week of school where hopefully they don't get traumatized again. And yeah, that would be great. But either way, I didn't want to take too much of your time today. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I just like putting out some of these weird stories just because, dang, what the hell? That's it.